Okay.
All right. This is Dre, Tattoo Squid Podcast here with Chanel from Nerd in Texas. How is it going, Chanel?
It's going good. Thank you so much for having me.
No problem, no problem. It's a Friday looming kind of, it's almost getting dark out. I'm like, I like this weather, but I don't like when it gets dark too soon.
Right when it gets dark really fast.
Yeah, it's like, like
For
as well as I do, like, we're pretty much like in that age bracket of you know, when your parents are like, listen, I want you home when before the light turns on.
yeah.
The street light turns on, then you better be home. Kind
Yeah,
of.
exactly.
So I'm like, nowadays it's like kids are going, it's like 9 o'clock at night. I'm like, don't they have a school night? What the fuck? But as you know, and you would know because you got kids and you know, doing that whole school thing as well. And what is
Yeah.
the time frame of going to bed?
Well, I mean, for us, I live out in the country, so I don't have street lights. So, I mean,
Oh,
yeah, so it's really just telling them to go to bed, and then all of a sudden I'll get like alerts on my phone that they're doing something on their phone, and I'm like, hey, get your butt in bed.
there you go. You get like
Yeah.
the whole uh Alexa kind of stuff going on.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm just making sure my Alexa doesn't go off. I think I have her turned off.
That's funny.
Yeah. Well, you know what they say about Alexa stuff. Which it's like, oh,
Mhm.
everybody's listening. They're doing this. I'm like, whatever.
I think it's so funny when people say like Alexa is listening when it's like if you're that worried about it, I think the only thing I ask my Alexa is like for chocolate chip cookie recipes. So I
Yeah.
don't think they're gonna be worrying about me that much.
No, but I think what it is like certain. I mean, not me because I wouldn't give a crap about it. I'm like, I'll have it on. I mean, I have it off, but it's like certain kind of things where I'm like, I don't really ask. I just go and ask for like jokes, but that's about it. Or what's the whatever question of the day, blah blah blah.
That's funny.
But certain people are like, oh no, they're gonna listen in on your conversations and this and that. And I'm like, so does my phone. I'm like, I'll say something about, Halloween mask. And it's like, oh, you were talking about Halloween mask. And here you can find all this stuff. And I'm like, it doesn't matter. The phone does it.
Exactly.
It's like
Exactly.
everybody's ball game where, like I said, I wasn't going to talk about politics, but anyway. So what is nerd in podcast? I mean, nerd in podcast, nerd in Texas. Uh, Given that you're in Texas,
Mhm.
and I'm not saying you're a nerd. I mean, we call it, you like your Twitch, you like
Mhm.
video games, hence the name Fort.
Yeah.
So like Fortnite, which I haven't really played that, but my nephews, uh, they can give me a run for my money. I can tell you right now.
Right.
Cubert, maybe they'll not win, but Mario Bros probably. But Halo, they'll kick my ass. And,
That's too funny.
yeah.
All right. So I'm on Twitch, but I'm actually not on nearly as much as I should be. Like I
Yeah.
should have a schedule and be doing it. Yeah, so I guess I should be on there more, but I play Fortnite and I play a tiny bit of Call of Duty. Like I just play a tiny bit of video games here and there. I'm not like a huge like a I don't know, I love video games and I like to think I'm good at them, but I know I'm terrible at Call of Duty. Fortnite, I feel like I'm pretty good at Fortnite.
Yeah.
But so Nerd in Texas is it was like during the pandemic and I had a podcast before and it kind of failed with a friend of mine. And so I had all the equipment in my closet and we were just like stuck at home and I was like, well, I might as well do something. And so I kind of started this podcast talking about movies and TV shows on Netflix and I'm sorry, I mainly like dive into backstories behind comic book characters and like characters that I'll watch in a movie and it's kind of like a side character that I'm like, okay, I want to know what their backstory is. And so I've always
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah.
looked
Nice.
into their backstories and it's just basically it's just stuff like that. And because I'm a huge Marvel fan, a huge Star Wars fan. Um, just all kinds of fandoms. I'm not really like that type of person that's stuck to just one.
Yeah.
And so I kind of talk about all of them. And when I don't really have anything new out, I kind of get on Netflix and I find something to talk about that's like been on Netflix or whatever the case may be.
Yeah, whatever programming has like whatever, like Prime or I mean I try looking at it too. I'm like, I don't really just I discuss like mostly whatever comes to mind because I mean I like you, I like
Mhm.
video games, but I'm not like gamer kind of thing where I go on. I got Twitch just for the podcast point of view kind of thing.
Right.
But I would love to try to play like some kind of games and all that. It's just that OBS broadcasting system, which I dabble
Mhm.
in and doesn't look pretty good. But anyway, but as it is, I like how we call it, the whole backstory part of it, as you do. And
Yeah.
what about Marvel? You ever seen the Marvel What If?
I've watched I like to like wait for them all to come out and
Oh,
then
okay.
just binge watch because I don't know, like now that streaming services are like releasing new episodes every week is
Yeah.
like bothering me. But I did watch like the first few. I think I just haven't watched the new one come out,
Mhm.
but so far my favorite one has been um Agent Carter, where she's become Captain Carter.
Yeah.
And then the other one was what was it? There was another one that was like really good.
There was
Um,
there was a Doctor Strange one.
yeah, the Doctor Strange one's really good. And then there was one with Black Panther, but
Oh, Star Lord.
he became Star-Lord. That one was kind of weird to me. I don't
It was weird.
it was
Yeah, you're not the only one. It was weird.
yeah.
I'm looking. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, damn.
Yeah, like the fact that Thanos was a good guy and was very like, "Oh, come on, guys, let's not fight."
Yeah,
Was just
yeah.
kind of like,
Yeah. Now
no.
let's just put this out there. Spoiler alert. If nobody hasn't seen the What If, there must
My
you must
bad.
be
My bad.
underneath a
Yeah.
rock or something. But
Yeah,
um,
totally. My bad on that one. But
no, 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 it's not your fault. We call it.
yeah.
Hey, we talk about. I seen like Hops Geek News discuss it and everything else, and we can
Hmm.
do it too. So it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But the What If, I think I'm up to. I think I watched the last one I seen was the zombie one,
Oh yeah.
and I think I might have missed like maybe two or three. I'm not sure, but
Yeah.
it's all it's all down to like how me and my girlfriend are always like, okay, what we're gonna watch, and then I'm like, I don't know, But lately now it's like Halloween month.
Hmm.
I'm like watching my horror movies. I'm like, all right, I gotta watch some horror movies.
Yeah.
Are you a horror movie fan?
I am picky about my horror movies though. Like
Ah,
scary movies that are gory, like those are gross to me. Like they're
okay.
those, I don't know. I don't like watching those. But if it's like a scary movie where it's like a haunted house and there's like jump scares and stuff, I love that kind of stuff. I don't like the Saw movies. Those are gross.
No, well, yeah,
Um,
that's your yeah.
yeah. But
That-
I like jump scare type movies, like that are actually like scary, you know?
the latest? What's the latest horror movie have you seen?
I guess it's really not like a horror movie, but I have been watching Midnight Mass on Netflix,
Oh, I
that
heard
TV
about that.
series.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
heard
it's
that.
kind of a horror series type deal. I want to say it's created by the same people who did The Haunting on Hill House or The Haunted of Hill House.
The yeah, I know you talk. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about, but there's like certain scenarios. There's one that's like the haunting of Hill House, and then there's the other one of the house on a haunted hill, and
Yeah.
it's all mixed
Because
in.
they kind of use like the same actors and
Yeah,
actresses like in the so I think it is. I'm not 100% positive, but I've been watching that lately and it's kind of creepy. It's kind of weird because you're just like you don't understand what's going on, but at the same time you have that you're watching it and you have that feeling like, oh, either something bad's gonna happen or
Oh yeah.
something's really creepy. Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah, I was like, what was it? I always watch like different like kind of horror movies I could be able to find, and the old, not the old one, but I mean like the more franchise kind of movies. Your Nightmare on Elm Street, your Friday the 13th, your
Hmm.
Hellraiser.
Yeah.
Ones that we all grew up with, basically. Like Nightmare on Elm Street, I watched when I was like 9 years old, 10 years old, or whatever.
Right.
And my mom and dad's like, "What are you watching?" It's like, "You're not supposed to be watching that." And then I was like, "All right, fine, I'll turn to MTV." "You're not supposed to be watching that either." I'm like, "How am I supposed to grow up?"
Right.
And I'm like, Jesus, Cyndi Lauper, come on, and and
That's
Captain
funny.
Lou, But I was like watching like went to my cousin's house. We were watching Nightmare on Elm Street, Dream Warriors, and all that. And I was like, oh, this is great, pigging
That
out on
is so
junk
funny.
food and ordering Domino's pizza.
Of course.
So the parents don't know that we ordered Domino's pizza.
Hmm.
Now they
Yeah.
know, but it's like spoiler, they know. But because I think I seen what was there's ones that are gonna come out, which is Halloween Kills. Uh oh, well, actually, this is not a horror thing, but it's a Ghostbusters.
Oh, that one looks
That
really
that
good.
one, yeah, that one looks really good.
Yeah.
And what was the other one? The Keanu Reeves.
John
Uh,
Wick, but that's not really.
well, no, John Wick's like next year, I think.
Yeah.
Uh, the oh my god, my brain is going on wacky mode. Um,
The
like,
Matrix.
yes, thank you,
Yeah.
Matrix. Oh, I think I need something to drink after this.
I know.
uh,
I was kind of shocked that they like decided to do another Matrix.
you
It'll be
know,
interesting to see what direction they go.
well, I mean, you see in the coming attractions, basically, it's like John Wick in the Matrix.
Yeah.
He has like the beard, he has the long hair. It's like holy shit! It's like Theodore Logan into the Matrix.
Right.
Which she
What
had that same
cracks
hair kind of thing too in the Bill and Ted's Avenger thing.
Yeah. See, what cracks me up is Keanu Reeves is now the John Wick guy. Like
Yeah,
his like I guess I don't know if you could say millennials or not or whatever, but they know him as John Wick. When I grew up watching like Point Break, and I
yeah,
know him as like Point Break and um Bill and Ted's,
yeah,
like all of those movies. And so yeah, that's how I know Keanu.
yeah. Keanu.
Yeah.
Imagine, oh, that would be great if I can get him on the show. Oh, listen, no one to add to the list. No, because I got a list of like Elvira, what was the other one? Elvira, Johnny Depp, Kate Beckinsale, and now Keanu Reeves.
Yeah, just keep
And
adding.
I know keep on adding, but I don't think it's gonna happen. I don't know. Well, a lot of people think, oh no, think positive.
Yeah, you
So
never know.
yeah. So let's talk about Goonies. We're here to talk about
Goonies.
Goonies. You Goonie. Which you have Corey Feldman, which is like Mouth.
Yep.
Uh, you got I don't really know Sean Astin. I know we call it. It's like I forget the name, but anyway, he's like the leader of the group. And
He's
then,
Mikey.
huh? Oh, Mikey.
Sean Astin is Mikey. Yeah.
Yeah, Mikey. And then you got Brad. Well, the guy that plays Brad.
Yeah.
He's we call it. And I heard they might do a Goonies too. I don't know, but
I've seen that too. I've seen where if you get on IMDb, that shows the Goonies too. But the only cast members that are on there are Corey Feldman and Josh Brolin and Cyndi Lauper. Like it doesn't show anything else. So
I'm
it
still
could
trying to figure out where the hell's Cyndi Lauper in the fucking movie.
she's like they're like hanging out in their house, I think, and she's like on a commercial or a TV, like.
Oh, that was it. Oh,
And
I was
then
wait a
I
minute.
think it was Josh. I think it was Josh Brolin who plays Brand. He's
Yeah.
doing like an exercise routine of Cyndi Lauper in the movie. I'm not 100% positive, but I think that's how she got like thrown into the Goonies.
I'm like, I'm reading it, and I'm like, Cyndi Lauper. I'm like, where? And I'm like, and I think I was trying to watch it, and I'm looking, I'm like, I don't see her. Oh,
Yeah,
what?
exactly.
She was not One Eye Willie, you know. and and let's give a scenario to the whole point. Like, you know, like people that's listening to this or even watching this on YouTube, uh, Goonies is a group of kids that have a pact, and they're like, you know, it's like Monster Squad somewhat.
Mhm.
You know, and they got an older brother. They find this map. They go for a treasure hunt because their house is in the boonies, or the back area part, which is going to get sold by a developer.
Yeah.
And they just buying up all the houses. They're cheap, so they can put some kind of market shit in there or something. And they trying to find money, and you know, so they can pay it and get the house back and whatever. But then they find criminals. You know, the woman from Throw Mama from the Train.
Mhm.
You know, if everybody doesn't know the name, going, oh, you know, and then don't tell me how I remember that. It just stuck in my head. But you know, the Savellis is a group, and you know, they have like an older, they have like a son that's demented looking, but he's not, you know, he's a nice, he's a cool cat,
Yeah.
you know, but they make it sound like, you know, he's like the boogeyman or some shit.
Mhm.
uh you know, but you know, he loves the Superman and catchphrase, hey you guys, you
Hey,
know.
you guys. Yeah.
Which I'm still trying to find the sound clips I can use it for this episode when I go and do editing. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I put it in the beginning, which you don't do like intro stuff, and I've noticed.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess it's because I'm just kind of like a straight to the point type of person that
Yeah.
when I start, like I said, when I first started my podcast, it was during the pandemic.
Yeah.
We were in lockdown. um I don't know, I just, it was literally like I just did it, and
Yeah.
I first sent it off to some friends of mine, and they're like, oh my gosh, like that, like they shared it with friends, and then they shared it with friends, so it just kind of like grew to something big. And then yeah, so that's when I decided to actually like put it out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, I try and do like sound effects here and there with certain things. And I haven't, but I don't know, I haven't done it yet. I need to.
Well, I mean, it doesn't, whatever works for you, you know. I mean, whatever works, you know. I just, like, when I started, like you, I started like the beginning of the pandemic kind of thing. I mean, I was still working, um, but I need something like an outlet for my voice.
Right.
You know, because I was like, you know, everybody's like, oh, you're a talker, you should get like on the radio or doing this. And then I heard about podcasts, and I'm like, all right, yeah. Which from other people that know about this, you know, like got like favorite DJ like Wolfman Jack, which is like a DJ like on Long Island. Uh, you know, awesome, and just love the whole demeanor and the facial expression. Where I think I'm getting it soon. You know, got the whole. You know, all I gotta do is have it like dark over here, and then the white, and then have dark right here. But you know, he looks like a Wolfman, kind of like, that's the hence the name Wolfman.
Mhm.
And have you ever heard of a WKRP in Cincinnati?
No, not really.
Well, it's a TV show. It's like middle '80s, late '80s, maybe '90s, something like that.
Mhm.
It's based on a Cincinnati TV station, a radio station.
Mhm.
And you know, they got everybody doing, like, you know, the program director, you know, business, news, whatever. They got two DJs on there, one for night, which is a soulful person, and then the other one is the heavy rock guy, you know. And that when I saw that, and his name is Dr. Johnny Fever.
Mhm. That's
uh,
kind of cool.
yeah, oh, it's awesome. It's like, well, it looks like it takes place in '70s,
Oh, okay.
but it's like in like the '80s somewhat. But once I saw this guy, and then I saw Wolfman Jack, and I'm like, all right, I want to be a DJ or somewhat, like a radio DJ.
Mhm.
I didn't think of myself to be a MTV VJ because I didn't want this face is not good for a TV. I tell you right now. People like, what the fuck is that? But hence I started off with YouTube. But anyway, enough about me. Let's talk about you, more you.
Okay.
That's what I do on this show. I tend to go off into a different world sometimes.
It's
All right.
okay. It happens.
I know it's like come back,
Mhm.
but and so what goes on now? We call for your show any new stuff, whatever's coming up that is exciting and new. That
I
that's
mean,
not.
I couldn't really say like exciting and new, but I'm gonna do an episode about clickbait. It's on Netflix. Have
Oh,
you- Yeah, so I'm gonna do one about that. And then like I had issues with the post office. I had issues with the post office, so I have my podcast officially has a PO box now. I don't know if that's like fancy news, but I have like an official PO box. I kind of created a merch store with one of those like basic stores,
yeah,
but like I used to make shirts and stuff like that,
yeah,
and so I kind of like ordered them from these places, and I don't really like I guess it's one of those things where like when you've done that before and like how it works, and you can see like the quality of the stuff, and you can like see all the like, you know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Yeah, like a guy who paints cars, they are like they can see a car that's been painted and they're like, no, that's not good. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
yeah, yeah. You have to be on the forefront of the whole thing.
Yeah,
You have to be on the assembly line. I'm like, yes, yes,
yeah,
yes.
exactly.
Yeah.
So like I don't know, I just didn't really like the quality of it. So I guess I'm kind of getting the things together to like create my own stuff and
Okay.
create my own shirts and stuff and do it from in-house. And so
Yeah,
that's kind of
I
new and
like your
exciting.
stuff. I like your sticker stuff and everything else. The bull with the glasses and everything. And I'm like, it's on this laptop over here.
Right.
It's
I
on.
know
You can't really see it, but
I'm actually supposed to wear glasses, but my glasses broke and I've been like procrastinating getting new glasses.
yeah. But now these days, glasses are not like what they used to be. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like you can go and you're like, oh, let me have those. Okay, give me your
Mhm.
arm. And you're like, for what? It's an arm and a leg. Okay, yeah, you know, because okay, insurance, but still, we're gonna take your arm. That's
Yep,
it.
exactly.
They were expensive, like $200 almost for like a frame, if that. I mean,
Mhm.
I don't know. I have glasses, but I went the cheap way. I went to the Walmart magnifying part.
Hey, I did the same thing. I'm not gonna pay that much money for frames, so
It's gonna hurt your eyes. I don't give a shit. I'm like, I'll read with this. I read. There's a running joke with this. People like looking like you read. I'm like, yeah, I like book learning.
mhm.
And and then so I do that. But yeah, so like you, I have an online store as well, but I don't. I would like to do that too. Like, like, oh, I like that, and look over somebody's shoulder, which I don't like doing that, and I hate when people do that to me, but
Mhm.
um, but as with the online store, at least I have my picture that I make, and then I'll put it on the thing. So I'm like, and then at least the store gives me a whole bunch of like different shit to put it on. Like
Right, yeah.
mugs, skateboards, uh, bags, uh,
Yeah.
not Robert Kors or whatever. What is that bag that the
The Mike, is it Michael Kors?
Michael
Is that who
Kors,
you're talking
Michael
about?
Kors. Who the hell is fucking Robert? What the hell? Yeah.
Robert is his cousin.
Cousin Robert, from down south. Michael Kors is in freaking England. If you're hearing that noise, it's me playing with my pen.
No, it's okay. We all have our nervous quirks.
No, it's not really a nervous quirk. I'm like high strung most of the time.
Oh yeah.
Like V, Life Paranormal V. She mentioned something, but I won't get into it because we could, she's probably listening, going like, "Why are you talking about it?" I'm not. But no, yeah, I get my little quirks here and there. But also, I like to do all that stuff too as well. Now, let's get into Twitch, since we were talking about video games and everything else.
Okay.
Now, how did you come about doing Twitch? I mean, like everybody else. I mean, when it came around, it was like, oh, this is cool. Let's try this.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much just because I played, like I said, I played Fortnite, I played Call of Duty, and one of the friends that I first started sending my podcast off to,
Yeah.
they were like, "Hey, you should stream playing Fortnite or playing Call of Duty or whatever the case may be." And at first I was like hesitant towards it. I was like, I don't know, because Twitch can kind of be like a toxic kind of environment when you get people in the chat and they're
Yeah.
getting rude or whatever. So I did do it for a little while, and then I got sick, and I actually got diagnosed with Bell's palsy, and it's where half of your face is like paralyzed.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So I didn't want to like be on there with like my face looking all
Mm.
looking like the dude from the Goonies, you know?
Uh,
So I
you look
stopped doing
fine. You look fine. You're okay. Don't worry.
it. So I stopped doing it for a little while, and then I started the podcast, because you don't really see when you're doing the podcast, you just hear somebody. And so that kind of got up and moving and going. And a lot of people ask me, like, are you going to start streaming again? And I still don't know the answer to that. I do every now and then. Like I said, I don't do it as much as I should, and like be on a schedule.
Mhm.
And the new thing now is Facebook streaming, like streaming playing on Facebook, but
Yeah.
Facebook might be going to, I don't know, Facebook is having issues. So
Yeah, I know. I've heard something that's like on Facebook and Instagram is like, oh, this is like down and whatever. And I'm like, I go on Instagram once in a while just to check my shit.
mhm.
I'll post like pictures, whatever, like weird shit comes up, whatever, and yeah, that kind of stuff. And then, but now mostly we're on Twitter. It's like we're Twitter bound.
Yeah,
Uh,
exactly.
or as I told Tim from 2010 Minutes, like Twitter tag. And he's like, oh, I like that Twitter tag. He has that heavy Boston accent.
Mhm.
It's like Twitter tag. And I'm like, hey, yeah. I try not to imitate anybody. It's gonna just be killing their own thing.
It's
But
just everyone.
so because I tried doing Twitch, like I mentioned before when we were talking before this. I tried Twitch, and I still do. I dabble in it. I go live, for a little bit. Sometimes I'll do some driving, and kids don't drive and Twitch at the same time. It's just like if you just pay attention to the road and then talk, and then I try to get that side view, but then my phone's like right here, so now it's doing the side view of the nose kind of thing. And so now they know I got some kind of like my snot locker somewhere. Uh, but I tried doing the Twitch, and I tried to get around to it. I got like a couple of people on there, but hey, it's fun. Maybe we can do what the hell is that called? Uno.
Uno?
Uno. Well, no, because they have a thing where you get like 4 or 5 people, and it's like and you play Uno online and all that. So
Oh, how fun.
yeah, it's like and then but the only thing I think what it is, and I've seen wrestlers do this on their Twitch and YouTube. Like they'll do Uno, like you play Uno before, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and if anybody else that doesn't know, again, you're underneath a rock. You get a card, you put a card down, somebody goes first, put the card down, which is like a color and a number, I
Yeah,
think.
a number.
And then, you have to match that color or that number. But if you don't have that color, or if you have a number of a different color, then you put that down and blah, blah, blah. The moral of the story is you have to get your single Uno card, and you gotta say Uno. But with this game, I think you get down to it, or you can have each person pick up like 15 to 20 cards at a time.
Oh boy.
And or you can just like really fuck them over,
Yeah.
or just play like an ordinary thing, or just go buck wild.
Hmm.
But that's something like that, or so.
I'm just imagining, because I'm naturally a competitive person, and I'm just imagining in my head playing Uno with like other podcasters.
I know, right?
Like
That would be
how
fucking cool.
crazy that would be.
Imagine, like Drunk Theory, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, imagine playing with those guys.
I feel
Holy,
like we would lose some friendships. We might lose some some
no, I don't
Twitter
know, because
friendships.
maybe some brain cells, but no, not friendships.
Yeah.
I don't really drink, but I'll make it look like I'll drink. I'll have like iced tea in a Jack Daniel's bottle. I'm like, okay, let's go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. That actually would be fun to do, like a whole Uno with other yeah, drinking
Yeah,
and playing
yeah.
Uno with some other
That's why I
podcasters.
gotta learn to get the Twitch fucking thing going on with the whatever. I know you say you're not a guru,
Yeah.
which is fine. I was like, but maybe we'll chat on Twitch, and then then figure out
Yeah.
when you have time, and
I mean, really, I know how to do like the whole layout thing, set up your camera, set up this, but I don't know how to talk to multiple people
yeah.
on Twitch.
Oh, I mean, I could try to figure that out, but I mean, like if you help me try to get that, like you said, the setup kind of thing,
Mhm.
and hey, the sky's the limit.
Yeah, we'll just Google it. We'll Google it
Yeah,
and YouTube it, and we'll figure it out.
that's my girlfriend's favorite fucking word. It's like, hey,
Google.
Google it, Google it.
Yeah.
I'm like, what? Just, and she likes to, and she likes to. Where the hell's the phone? Actually, the fuck. Anyway, so she'll go like this, and she'll hit that like little speaker thing, and it's like, what is this? Like I'm like, why don't you just fucking type it? And she gets pissed.
I get lazy
Oh,
sometimes like that too, so it's okay.
oh,
I'll
okay.
do the speak to text like all the time just because I don't want to take the time to text it.
Oh man, you're like one of those dudes. Like, oh, come on. And it's like, or you can be like Gabriel, going, oh, backspace, backspace, back.
Exactly.
I don't know.
No, I love Google and I love YouTube. I actually like helped fix my mom's car with YouTube.
Oh yeah, no, I've done that. Yeah, we caught up. You see something wrong, you're like, he's looking like, all right, just turn on the key. Okay,
Oh yeah, yeah. Just push this button.
yeah, push this button and pray to God. Okay, pray
Yeah,
to God. Yeah.
exactly.
But we were talking about Goonies. Oh, Jesus, we just like jump around like I always do. But so Goonies. Now, would you think there's going to be a part two? What would be the part two of Goonies? What would you think that would be?
I don't know. Seeing as the only cast members are what's his name? I just said it. Josh Brolin and Corey Feldman. I mean, that's what it says on IMDb right now.
Yeah,
Um, I'm sure it would be some kind of adventure that they find, or it'll be like the possibility of them being in that house, and their kids, if they have kids, their kids
true.
finding some other kind of treasure and finding some other kind of adventure.
Yeah, and where would Sloth be in this whole thing? I know he'll be with Chunk. And if you see Chunk now, Chunk is not Chunk.
He's
Chunk,
not Chunk
yeah,
anymore. Yeah, I know. I saw
he's
that.
beefy. He's beefy. That's what I heard. I heard he's beefy. I didn't see any pictures. I just know they said he's beefy.
Yeah, no, I saw a picture and he's not Chunk anymore.
No.
But I could still see them, like if they are adults or whatever, I could still see them like picking on him for some other reason.
Oh yeah, yeah. The
Yeah,
truffle shuffle and all that shit.
exactly.
Yeah. I don't like we said, he's not gonna have like the whole truffle shuffle. If everything's not gonna stay the way they are.
Yeah.
That sounded so weird on my end. I don't know. But okay. So Goonies, and now I'm thinking Goonies is like, Chunk. Okay, he's working out and everything else, and he's trying to be like big, like Sloth,
Right.
and then they go and they do stuff, but they don't really go and do stuff because he's gonna get heckled. He's gonna get whatever with other people. But yeah, Josh Brolin and whoever's going to be in that second movie, would be parents.
Right.
And either they do have the house in the said place that they were in when they were kids, or
Mm.
they're somewhere else. They'll still be in that town, But then also, the parent, there'll be parents, and the kids will go and find this map, and then be on an adventure for themselves. Almost, I don't know.
Right. I just can't see like Josh Brolin's character, Brand, like I can't see him having kids. I feel like he would be the cool uncle, you know?
Yeah, yeah,
I don't see because I think of Josh Brolin and I think of like Thanos and Cable or
yeah,
whatever, and having this whole cast together and him just kind of like he's probably gonna tower over all of them, but
yeah.
I don't know. It's just I don't know.
Well,
It's
I
just
mean, maybe
crazy.
was it Sean Astin? I think is in it too, right? Yeah, he was in
Yeah,
the
Sean
movie.
Astin's in it.
Yeah, so I would figure like Corey Feldman and Sean Astin probably having somewhat kids, not together, just with different partners. Um and so maybe the girls that's on there as well.
Mhm.
Data, I don't know. I don't know about Data. The guy, the invention guy, the how can I say this without getting backlash?
I know who you're talking about though.
Yeah, I know, but I don't want to. I'm trying to like describe it to people that don't know what the hell I'm talking about. He is a descendant of a certain culture. Haha, there we go.
Yeah.
That kind of helps out, and he makes like gadgets like his dad, and they don't work
Hmm.
basically. But he might have a gadget shop that works. It's like he's the young Inspector Gadget before Inspector Gadget came out.
Yep, exactly. I feel like his character could go one of two ways where he could be like some brilliant inventor as an adult who like invented the Tesla,
Yeah.
or he's like has his house full of like stuff that are like failed inventions. Like
Or it could be like his house is like booby, or as he calls it, booby trapped. And
yeah.
and then he'll be like one of those like James Bond, but goofy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
maybe.
totally. I
I
mean,
don't know. See what happens.
yeah.
We'll see in the summer attractions coming soon to a theater near
So,
you, or a back room somewhere. But
yeah.
uh so what's that? Goonies, and we covered there. Oh, let's cover tattoos, since you have tattoos.
Oh yeah, I have a bunch of them.
I have a illustrious amount.
Hmm.
Um when and what are your tattoos about?
Okay, so when like my very first tattoo is a lotus, not a lotus, is a hibiscus flower, just
Okay.
because when I moved from after my freshman year of high school, I moved from California to Texas. I kind of always grew up back and forth from California to Texas
All right.
because my dad lived here, my mom lived in California, and then I officially moved to Texas after my freshman year of high school, and I like hated it. And so the hibiscus flower, I mean, those flowers are normally in like California and Hawaii and all that stuff. And so I don't know, I got that. It was one of my like 18-year-old, I'm a rebel, I'm gonna just do whatever I want. My dad doesn't like tattoos, so I'm gonna get them,
Oh yeah,
that
you
type of
had you
thing.
had a dad like that too. Oh shit, we're
Yeah.
the same.
No, so my dad was very old fashioned and like girls couldn't do things that like, guys should do.
Oh,
So
okay,
my
yeah.
brother is covered in tattoos, but I couldn't get them. So I was like, I'm gonna prove you wrong. So
So
I
I
have
guess.
that one. And then the rest of them are a bunch of just kind of random ones that I've gotten with friends. Uh I have one on my wrist right here where it says love you,
Hmm.
and it's in my grandpa's handwriting because my grandpa was he was a Marine in World War II, and we used to write letters back and forth. Like he was in the military and his whole thing was writing letters back home, and he kind
Yeah.
of continued that, and we kind of continued that. And when he passed away, I kept a lot of his letters, and at the
Oh,
end of it, it was always love you. And then so I
yeah.
got that. And then I have one tattoo. It's the Bangers logo from it's a bar downtown Austin.
Okay.
And yeah, the bangers, it's like this, it's a bar, but they also serve kind of like German food type thing where it's all like sausages, and you get big old like boot beer mugs and
Beer
stuff
fest.
like that.
Yes.
Yeah, that kind of environment. And so they, on their menu, it's like, if you go get a tattoo of our logo, it's free, like we will pay for it.
Yeah.
So me and a group of friends, we were just like, let's do it. So we went, so yeah, it's like a circle, and then the boot is like a beer mug, and then there's like a sausage in it. Yeah.
I love where
And
this is going.
yeah. Yeah, and so there's like a sausage in it. Oh, I wonder if you can see it. Hold on, do you see it right there?
All right, circle. Yeah, I see the beer and the mug
Yeah.
and the boots.
Yeah.
I don't see the sausage, but that's okay.
It's like a sausage link that's like right there. I'll take
Oh,
a
that's where
picture
the
of it and send it to you.
I
Yeah. Yeah, and then I have this one where it's a cupcake and two dueling pistols.
and what's the
And
meaning of that?
then this one I got
Yeah.
with a friend of mine, and it's only because, well, one, I'm in Texas, and
Oh yeah.
I live on 50 acres. And so we are always like shooting guns and blowing stuff up, like on holidays or birthdays or whatever. And
Happy birthday! Boom. Yeah.
boom, yeah, like my cousin had her 21st birthday here, and we ended up blowing up her birthday cake. Like,
I was just thinking about that. You probably blew up the birthday cake and all that. I'm like, boom. That's where that boom came from.
exactly. We would get like big things of tannerite and just shove it in things and blow it up. And I'm also like a huge old Western movie fan. Like, I love John Wayne, Clint Eastwood. Um, why can't I ever think of his name? I can't think of the movie. You know, the where he's like, what we have here is a failure to communicate. You know that
Oh
movie?
yeah, yeah, oh yeah. Believe me, I'm in that boat too. I'm like, I
Yeah.
know lyrics and words, but I don't know the name of movies or bands that would go for it. Uh,
I can
failure.
think. Yeah,
Oh, this is gonna kill me at night.
I'm Googling it right now.
Yeah, Google.
Because it is gonna drive me insane. Cool Hand Luke.
Oh, okay, there we go.
Yes, I'm
Yeah,
a huge, like, I love those kind of movies. And I also like to bake, and
oh, okay.
it's Paul Newman. Like, I'm a huge Paul Newman fan.
Yeah,
Um there's another Western guy that I'm like a huge fan of. But I grew up watching John Wayne movies, and so I got the cupcake because I like to bake, and then dueling pistols because I like shooting stuff. So
disclaimer.
yeah, exactly.
Do not
I mean,
play with matches.
I don't like shooting at people. What I'm saying is, like, I go hunting. We have
Inanimate objects.
right.
Yeah.
We have like wild hogs in our backyard that kind of take over, and are, it's where I live, it's like one ranch after another. So each neighbor has like a ton of cattle and stuff like that. So whenever we get in contact with each other and we're like, oh, this hog just tore up one of my cows or whatever, we all kind of like,
Oh, you got your own horror movie going on. Oh, okay.
exactly.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
Because they're mean. Hogs are mean. But
Coming to a theater near you. Boar. Yeah. Yeah.
But then if we're just in the backyard, we have targets and stuff set up, and we
Yeah.
just shoot things and stuff like that. And then why else did I get that? But yeah, that's pretty much it. It's just and then I have a peonies rose right here, and that's like a cover up tattoo
Yeah.
that I got with a friend. And that
Is that a
relationship kind of
quote unquote friend? Friend.
yeah,
Yeah.
that relationship kind of failed, and so I got that covered up. And then I have a huge kind of like quarter sleeve where I've got
Yeah,
a
that's cool.
skull.
I was looking at that. I was like, nice.
I've got a skull and some flowers, and then the background, it's kind of got like a galaxy thing going on. And
Yeah.
then when I add on to it, it's going to be more galaxy, and I'm going to have like hidden Star Wars things in there. And stuff like
Yeah,
that.
mine's mine's like multi of whatever. And
Yeah.
my tattoo artist, he called me I'm not the man of useless information, but that's somebody else that called me that. Did basically I have like no theme,
Mm,
like there is a theme. Like this arm is more like the water theme. So
hmm
I'll have like I got the goblet, like One Eye Willie, so I got the
Right.
goblet with the gold in it.
hmm
I got the mermaid, a little coral reef going around. For some reason, I have Bob Marley's album cover on my arm. I don't know why. Which I thought, because I'm a Leo,
hmm
so I want to get a lion. It had a crown, it had a broken heart, and at that time, I had, my wife passed away of cancer, so that kind of fit. And
Right.
I got a crown with the jewels, and I figured I got nieces and nephews, so those are my jewels.
hmm
And one person came up and it's like, oh, that's a cool Bob Marley cover. And I'm like, and me and my tattooers are just like looking at each other like, uh, oh well,
Oops.
it's on your arm now. So but then we start putting water around it, and it's like, resting. It's kind of like one of those mythological kind of like resting in the water kind of thing or something. And
Right.
then what the hell else I got on here? Viking thing on my elbow, which I fell asleep on. And Poseidon with the trident and sharks, and but basically I got a whole bunch of different other shit. uh the chest, back. I got a squid on my back. So hey,
Yeah.
I got tattoo squid, so I put a tattoo of a squid. uh it's not
Yeah,
as
I
big
have
as I
one.
want it to be, but
I have a tattoo on my back. It starts up here
yeah,
and then it goes down to like my rib cage or whatever. But yeah, and I just have a whole bunch of stuff. I don't have any nerdy type tattoos, so that's gonna be my next goal is to get some kind of like
I got one.
oh,
Batman Lego.
I always wanted Batman, like Lego Batman. He's like my favorite.
Yeah,
He's
I got him
my
like on
favorite
the
movies.
I got him on the thigh, I guess, like up here. uh
hmm
Whatever you do when you go to tattoo, whatever tattoo artist is that you do,
hmm
and if there's a guy that has ADD or ADHD, whatever, and and it sees the tattoo, and then it's like, well, no, and it needs more of this, and you're like, oh fuck,
Yeah.
shit, really? Come on, it looks better that way. And so that was like the parting gift, because I was leaving Pennsylvania, and he's like, I need to get a tattoo on you. I'm like, okay. So I did
That's
that,
funny.
and I did it for my nephews because they love, Batman, and so Legos kind of like they do the Lego shit. Uh, and then everything else is just miscellaneous stuff on my legs, and a bunch of different stuff on my chest, uh, whatnot. So I can go on and on, but we're not gonna have enough time. Now it'll be like a segment of the
Right.
tattoo segment. That's what I should do. Like
Yeah.
get like people that has tattoos and just go, hey, Um, but
That would be a good one.
I got a question. Now this is the
Okay.
question I was gonna ask you. Uh, Now have an open mind about this.
Okay.
All right. So who do you think will die first? Betty White or Keith Richards?
Oh man.
See, I told you, it's a think process.
Oh my goodness.
Now, given Betty White's going to be 100
hmm
January 17th. Keith Richards looks like he's 100,
Right.
but he's only 76.
Right. Oh man.
But I'm
Um,
not, and for other people that's watching this and listening to this, I don't condone people's actions of that they're going to die or not. It's a funny question. It's literally, you don't know what's going to happen, and I want to give people's ideas. Right now,
yeah.
Keith Richards is 4-0.
Right. I hate to say it because I love them so much that I don't ever want anything to happen to this person,
Yeah.
but I'm gonna have to say Betty White.
Oh
Just
my God,
because of her,
you broke the streak. It's down.
yes, just because of like her age. I mean, yes, Keith Richards looks that age and he's probably done quite a bit of the things that like that could have possibly killed him, but yeah, no. I I love Betty White, but I just feel like it would be her.
Okay, that's good, honest thing right there. So okay, Betty has 1 and Keith Richards has 4. So he's still in the lead of, I feel like a death dealer, for some reason.
Right?
Like it's like, Keith, you have 4 more to go. No. No, but honestly, because Betty White, she outlasted 3 other Golden Girls.
Mhm.
And she's the last of the her kind. I don't know if I
Right.
said it, but not her kind, but
Yeah.
of the Golden Girls. But
Mhm.
being 100, and it seems like she's not going to stop. I mean, honestly, and it pains me to say this, and in a good way, that it she would, and honestly, she has this reputation to do this too. She would fuck anything. So, that's what I've heard. And she has like a mobility that's not going to stop. You know, so and she says that like when she gets an award or whatever, she goes, "Thank
Mhm.
you all, thank you for the I've had you all," and I'm like, "Holy shit, really? You went there?"
You
It's like,
went there?
yeah, you went. I'm like, holy shit. And then she's talking to Morgan Freeman. She goes, yeah, we did have something going on in the back seat, And I'm like, whoa, wait a minute, like, good golly. I'm like, geez. I'm not gonna say my virgin ears, but I've heard worse. But come on,
I feel like
should
it
have
would
been
be
like plastic.
it'd be either really funny or really interesting to have, like, how Comedy Central has those roasts.
Yeah.
If they roasted Betty White, it would be probably hilarious.
No, I know. I'm surprised. They probably will have that.
Yeah.
Once, I mean, everything else is calming down, I guess, with COVID and
Mhm.
the what was that, the strain or whatever it is. That probably has something on there. What would be crazy if having Betty White, okay, you're doing like what you just said, Betty White's on there, but then the guests, the roasters, you're
Mhm.
gonna have your basic roasters on there, but then Keith Richards is one of the roasters.
Right? That
So,
would be awesome. If they do this and Ryan Reynolds is not one of the roasters, I would be very upset.
oh, I think he will be. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
he'll be on there, and Morgan Freeman probably on there as well.
Mhm.
And if my name ever fucking comes up, I will be happy. It's like this dumbass guy on this Tattoo Squid podcast,
That's so
has got
funny.
me 4 to 1 to die.
No, but I did read a thing about her where she has actually worked longer in this industry than anyone in history.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And she actually has like a Guinness World Record for like receiving, like, I think it was like 8 nominations in like all these different kinds of award shows. Like she has like, yeah.
Because like I said, I mean, she's probably gonna be. She's probably going to be like 110 or something,
Mhm.
somewhere to that nature, because I mean, she's not going to be like, oh, I'm 100 and then that's it, or
Right.
whatever. Yeah. Uh,
Exactly.
oh, Betty, 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 and oh, I don't know if I should say this, but there's a friend of mine that is like in love with Betty, and he's like, I think he's like in his late 30s, early 40s or something. And we were like just teasing him every time. It's like, listen, I had this picture of him, him and Betty White, and then she's eating a hot dog, and and then he's all like, and he
That's
loved it
funny.
too. He's trying to get a shirt that says Betty White, and everything else. I'm like, Okay, we call him John Cena. You know, well, he has like, he has like the build. So he's like works out and he looks like, he doesn't look like John Cena, but if you had like the hair and the bandana and the armbands and all that. So, are you a wrestling fan? How about that? How about we bring that?
I actually am a wrestling fan, but
Uh-huh.
I haven't watched it in a while. Like, me and my daughters were like, we used to watch it like religiously, like watch it all the time.
Yeah.
And I took for her birthday, I took my daughter to San Antonio to watch Hell in a Cell when Ronda Rousey was wrestling
Oh,
at the moment, like at the time.
yeah.
And like, yeah, the funny part is like I took my mom also.
Well, you gotta take
And
mom somewhere. Come on now.
yeah, and my mom didn't really understand at all what was going on. Like when the stands, like everybody in the stands or whatever would start cheering things on.
Yeah.
Like she was just like, what is happening? When then they would say things over and over again, like this is awesome when
Yeah.
people are doing something really cool. She's like, why are we doing this?
Yeah.
So it made it kind of 10 times funnier is watching my mom like be completely confused at like what was happening.
Yeah. Would you have a favorite wrestler? Do you, or you just watch it just to watch it, or?
Well, growing up, I had a favorite wrestler. I can't even remember who it was. It was during the
Attitude Era.
I guess you could call it that. I mean, China Doll was one of my favorites. I can remember her.
Oh yeah, China, yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, I would always make sure to watch her. It was during like the Rock era when he was wrestling and stuff.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And yeah, because
Is
I
it
grew up,
a male or female?
it was a male.
Okay.
I'd have to look it up.
What
But
do
I
you
grew
know
up
what he looks like? Can you picture in your mind what he looks like? I can tell you right now what it is. Probably. Wait
yeah,
for it.
I'm gonna look it up.
Okay.
But
She's
I grew up
googling
with
it.
3 older brothers, and they were all in sports, and so all of their friends would come over
Yeah.
and watch wrestling at our house. And so me being the younger little sister, I was the one that they would like practice wrestling moves on.
Oh,
Yeah, so that's
sounds
how I
like my
watched wrestling.
household. We've done the
Because
same. Hey, sis, come here. We're gonna put a figure four on you. Yeah.
right, with 3 older brothers and you're the only girl, like, and we only had like one TV, I never got to pick what we watched. It was like I would try and watch like Care Bears and they'd be like, this shit is stupid, and they would change it to like GI Joe or something.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, I never got to say.
Which is a good show. Yeah.
Yeah.
And those Care Bears. All right, I'll say it. Care Bears is good. Yeah. There was actually a Care Bear that smokes pot.
Yep.
I'm just
Yeah,
because there is. It's out there now. So, mine is. Oh wait. Maybe I can show you. Mine is the Undertaker.
Oh,
So
I actually know the Undertaker.
yeah, well, he's from Texas. Yeah.
Yeah, so my daughter plays softball, plays travel ball softball, and his daughter plays for softball in another town.
Yeah.
And so whenever we have softball games or tournaments or whatever, he's always there. And if a little kid comes up to him, like like if it's softball or whatever, a little kid comes up to him and is like, oh, you're the Undertaker, can I talk to you or whatever? He's cool.
Yeah.
But with adults, he'll be like, hey, I just want to watch my daughter play real quick. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if you know him, you kind of know like, hey, stay away from him when it's like softball time.
Yeah.
But when he is like he's the nicest guy ever. Like when he is open to talking, he just doesn't like it. He'll be like, okay, we can take a picture, just don't like post it on anything until like a week from now. Cause like, you know how people are with social media or whatever, you post a picture, they can like find you, like find celebrities and like whatever. So I mean, yeah. If you have that mutual understanding with him, he's like the coolest guy ever.
I was gonna ask you if you do see him, get like an autograph, but since that's not gonna happen, because like you said,
no, I mean, I could try, I guess, but my daughter kind of moved to do a different thing, so I haven't seen him or his daughter in like a long time.
Okay.
But when you go to softball, when I go to softball tournaments or games or whatever, and he's there, you don't even have to question if it's him, because he is like
Yeah.
so tall, and so
Uh-huh.
he just towers over everybody. So you can just point him out. You'd be like, "Oh, he's right over there." Like, you know what I mean?
I think that's the reason why I got tattooed, because I wanted to be looking like him, even though
Mhm.
I had the hair at some point, and I had long hair, but it wasn't like, where it would stay long. It was like, in the summertime it would, curl up like an afro.
Right.
But his would be just like, wet and, and stay that way, covered it. Maybe because of this. I don't know. Maybe because I got this. Yes,
I don't.
people,
I
I
don't
got a wig
understand.
here that I'm gonna use for Halloween. So, uh-huh.
I don't understand the wet hair look though. Like if you see like a Roman Reigns and all those guys, that they all walk out and their hair is like wet. I don't
Yeah.
get it.
I thought I had a philosophy about it, and maybe just because it's hot when you're going into the wrestling ring, probably because of
Oh,
the
that could be
whole,
it. Yeah.
and then you're cooling off, I guess. And then when
Yeah.
you're wrestling, and then everything, because Triple H, he had like long, hair as it is,
Hmm.
and he also had the stash like this too. But
Right.
which I think that's where I'm getting it from as it is. Not Wolfman Jack, this is Triple H right here. But the game. Anyway, so yeah, because they had long hair and he had wet, but then when he was wrestling and everything else, and then it was just like it flows around, like, so that was like, that's my favorite wrestler, was Undertaker. Well, still is,
Hmm.
still is.
Yeah.
You ever wrestle again? But I mean, I'm going to have to go and take a flight down to Texas.
Right.
And because I know he's married to Michelle McCool.
Hmm.
Um, I have like other like favorite wrestlers, and mine's more dark wrestlers. More like Aleister Black when he was wrestling, or still is, but it goes under a different name. Um, like that kind of dark thing with tattoos and the mystique of it
Right.
all. So, but is there anything else that you would like to talk about, or are you?
No. I mean, I guess if like I would choose like because I normally like gravitate towards like the female wrestlers.
Yeah.
Um, I always liked Becky Lynch, but I feel like she's kind of like I don't know, not I can't explain how I feel about her right now.
It's
Like
like a
I mean,
one.
and she was on leave for a while because she had a baby, which is
Yeah.
awesome. But then it was like
Oh,
right when she came,
I kind of lost you.
you lost me.
Yeah, I don't see me. I don't know if it's me or is it you. I'm not sure.
I see you. I can hear you.
Oh shit! Don't even tell me my. Well, I guess we're just doing audio. You have a
Okay.
meeting that is currently in progress. What the hell? What the hell's going on here? End of a meeting. Hold on. Oh crap! This is not gonna go well. Uh,
No.
you know. All right. Let's just. Oh, there we go. We're
Got
back.
it. Okay, cool.
Technical difficulties.
It's not a podcast if that doesn't happen.
No, no. I think it's because I got this weird shit that's going on over here. Hold on, let me get rid of some of this update shit. Anyway, all right. So yeah, female wrestlers, I would go with shit. There's a whole bunch actually, because I'm not saying it as a male point of view,
Yeah.
but there is some cool like female wrestlers like Bianca Belair.
Hmm.
And then you got, I mean, Sasha Banks, because she's like famous though, but it's cool, like NXT, um, you know, and whatnot.
Yeah.
So uh
I
you know,
used to watch I used to watch the Bella twins. I used to watch Paige. Paige was my favorite.
oh yeah, that was another one, yeah.
Yeah. Paige was my favorite.
Bella Twitch person too, huh?
Yeah, yeah. I actually forgot she was on Twitch. Um, so Paige and then Natalie Eva Marie, she came back. I never really liked her, but I followed her like on her reality show and stuff.
Yeah.
And now she's got that whole weird thing with that other girl.
Dewdrop.
Yeah, dewdrop. I don't even know what does that even mean? Like,
You know what? I think, because Vince McMahon that owns WWE,
mhm,
thinks of all these different names. I mean, it comes from the mind of a madman, but uh,
yeah,
I'm not trying to say anything ill will about anybody, but he always has like there's some crazy logic to his madness. Yeah. So,
right.
dewdrop is something that goes on like in life, I guess. Like
Mhm.
when you wake up, there's a dewdrop, but I don't know how that pertains to her
Or to wrestling. Yeah.
or to wrestling for that matter, or something
Yeah.
like that. But I never liked Eve Marie
Yeah.
for some reason because of, well, one, she can't wrestle. I mean, I can't. I honestly, I can't wrestle either. I mean, I'm not a wrestler, but
Right.
you know, over wrestlers, I mean, there's people that are more athletic, more agile, more in tune with wrestling. She's just there flaunting, and that's it.
Right.
You
Exactly.
know,
Yeah.
and then and I'm like, like she'll be there for just like, oh, my bra opened. Oh well, and then everybody's like, oh wow, look at that, and which I was one of them, yeah, but it's like that was it. That's all it was,
Mhm.
like flash
Yeah.
in the pan kind of thing. And then she left, and I'm like, okay, cool. Now we got our people wrestling. And then I was like, oh, we're gonna. Then they have you followed like the firing of certain wrestlers or
I followed when Natalie Eva Marie got fired. I follow Ronda Rousey. I followed Ronda Rousey back when she was like in UFC fighting. Um, but I know she quit and she's pregnant, having a baby.
yeah,
But I've kind of seen things where she kind of like calls out WWE and doesn't really like WWE anymore.
yeah.
And then um other than that, not really. I mean, because I follow them on Instagram and stuff. Like I follow Alexa Bliss on Instagram. I love her. I love
Oh,
her
yeah,
like as a person, but this
yeah.
whole like weird route she's going is kind of weird.
Well, I guess she's taking over because Bray Wyatt's like out, so
Oh yeah.
taking over the
Right.
reins of it. No pun intended, but just taking over the stuff about it.
Right.
Um, I was just shocked because of like you got every person that is like legitimately has wrestling ability, and they cut them because of budget cuts or whatever you want to call it.
Right.
Uh, and it was like, and then everybody else they let go. They're like, oh, okay, we're gonna like these one. There's like 18, like 20 of them they let go. That has like, it almost sound like, oh, we're gonna bring back Eve Marie.
Yeah.
The fuck for? I'm like,
I don't
really?
I don't believe when they say they cut someone because of budget cuts, I don't believe it one bit. Like they bring in so much money
Oh yeah,
and with merchandise and with like and they have to approve of all the merchant like you know what I'm saying? Like
yeah, yeah.
there's no way that it's because of budget cuts.
I mean, it's just like they let one person go, they bring somebody back, and then the husband goes, and then they bring somebody. I'm like, make up your mind. I'm like,
Right?
geez. I'm like, I mean, I don't watch it as much as I would like to. I do watch like the recaps when like Monday or Wednesday or whatever.
Hmm.
Excuse me. And I watch it like on YouTube, like all the recap stuff. And I'm like, okay, typical, So, but yeah, I mean, it's the way of life of wrestling, I guess. I would
For
love.
sure.
I've gone to many wrestling shows, which is awesome. I never really met wrestlers. I mean, I went to my, the independent ones over here,
Right.
and they're awesome. They're cool to talk to, and you get the merch, and now I'm trying to figure out my merch.
Right.
And then you're finding yours out, and everybody else is figuring their shit out. So,
Hmm.
uh, but I think we covered like everything.
Awesome.
I think we just like whatever that if we had to do like religion and that I think we covered everything. But no, there was a movie called Midnight Mass. We covered it. Yeah. So
Right.
it hurt me. We got some victories in the background. So right. So tell everybody where they can find you. Plug away anything that goes on, or where they can find the merch.
Okay. I have my website. It's nerdintexas.com. And then of course you can find me on Twitter, all the social medias. I have like a Ko-fi page where if you donate to that, you can go in my Discord, like just all the basic podcast stuff.
Yeah. Just a podcast, certain stuff.
Yeah.
Anything else? That's it, or
Yeah, pretty much.
oh, okay. All
That's what
right.
I can do.
And everybody, you know where you find me, pretty much in the deep somewhere. No, I mean, I'm just kidding. That's because I'm doing the whole Tattoo Squid thing. So you Tattoo Squid at podcast Tattoo Squid on Twitter, and then just go to the link tree, which is LIN. I wasn't sure what that was now. I think it's just look for Linktree / we call it Tattoo Squid Podcast, and then you'll find all the links for different stuff. Merch, buy me a coffee, buy her coffee. I think you buy a coffee, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So buy her coffee, and then when you buy her coffee, go buy me a coffee. And then when we have the money, then we'll go and buy each other some coffee.
The coffee. Yep,
and
exactly.
then we go and see the Undertaker and buy him a coffee.
Right.
And then if we see, Alexa Bliss, she's probably a tea person. So, and she's a pig person. She likes her pigs.
Yeah.
But just follow Nerd in Texas. I almost said it again. I almost said Nerd in Podcast. Nerd in Texas, and follow Tattoo Squid Podcast, and like, subscribe, review, and share. And what else is there? There's pretty much just go everywhere you can find us.
Yep.
And then we'll give out some good content, great content, which is here as well. What we're doing now. So that is it for tonight. So then my next guest will be Lost Losers tomorrow.
How fun.
Yeah, so it's I'll tell you about that when we go off of this, and we'll chat more a little bit if you like. All right, guys, take it easy. Have a good night. And we'll talk to you later, and adios.